EV space is charging up as Congress prepares to pour $7.5 billion into the industry through the bipartisan infrastructure plan. EV charging manufacturer Volta is debuting today on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker VLTA after closing its SPAC merger with Tortoise Acquisition Corp. Joining us now is Volta CEO Scott Mercer. Scott, great to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Obviously, shareholders approved this merger, but many of them chose to redeem their capital out of the trust, and so you're raising less money than previously expected. Does that change the contours, the plans that you had?
You know, I think SPACs are a bit of a frothy market up and down right now. For us, we were lucky to have a fairly high quality pipe. We raised $300 million through our story. So with the total in 400 in capital, that fully funds our business plan.
Okay, so what are you going to do with the 400 million?
I mean, our focus right now is on building the critical fueling infrastructure that will underpin the transition to electrification. We're out building stations with our partners across the country. That becomes the focus.
Okay. In terms of how exactly do you make money? You're looking for sort of partnerships. You're looking to go where consumers spend some time, because that makes sense. You want to spend some time while you're charging your car, so you're not going to go to like someplace where you just drive through and leave. You want to go to like maybe a gym or a supermarket or something like that. So how exactly do you make money, and how do you entice that retailer or that shopping mall, et cetera, to say, you know what, we're gonna put a charging station here?
Right. For Volta, our theory of the business is really focusing on driver experience and behavior. Our view is that this is not about just monetizing the kilowatt hours of stations. This is a shift in how mobility behavior happens across an entire city. So helping businesses understand how they can attract customers through charging, how they can use charging as an advertising vehicle, how they can use it to drive shopping behavior in the store. This is a much, much more interesting way to monetize an EV charging business and generate predictable revenue. So Volta, as an owner-operator, is the largest owner-operator in the space by revenue by a fair margin.
Okay. And how are you monetizing precisely? I mean, is it a revenue share? I mean, how granular do you get in terms of understanding how a consumer changes the behavior based on whether or not there's a charging station there?
Yeah, I think so. As people move from gas cars to electric, their habits shift. And if they've seen the infrastructure at their local grocery store, they might be more likely to go to that grocery store when they need to charge in public. They might be more likely to spend a little bit more time. And if a product is advertised on the Volta network, they're more likely to actually purchase that product. So we kind of think about the whole funnel of driver behavior and how that shifts as people move from gasoline car habits to electric.
I'm wondering how you think you'll benefit from the infrastructure plan. There's obviously, in the bigger plan, there's a carve out for EVs and charging stations specifically. But in terms of the grid, I mean, do you ever think out to the out years down the line to whether or not the grid can actually handle the plans and the projections for EV penetration in the market?
I mean, frankly, for me, Melissa, this business is all about thinking decades down the line. That's the fascinating part. And what we really are looking at from that perspective is how do you do data-driven planning about how to make infrastructure that is consistently used and not sort of peaky for the grid. So ensuring that as we're working with utility companies, they have access to our data, our predictive software about where to place chargers so that they can be highly useful and highly used by drivers, so they're more predictable in terms of energy consumption.